Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and good evening. The Foreign Office spokesperson has responded to the Afghanistan Taliban regime's accusations regarding trade, regarding the TTP, their presence in Afghanistan. He has said that if they are the refugees, the TTP and the BLA's refugees, they should be handed over to Pakistan, and they can come through the designated official passages which are being decided both by Afghanistan as well as Pakistan. So we will be discussing about our, the present standoff with Taliban, with Afghanistan, as well as the Indians are holding exercises, services exercises closer to Pakistan border. In fact, in the deep sea, but that is closer to Pakistani waters. How they are going to impact on the regional security? Is it a new threat to the South Asian peace and security? We are going to discuss about all these issues. I have a very prominent guest with me, Ambassador Raza Muhammad. He is a defense expert, and also he has, experience on foreign affairs, being an ambassador and being a journal as well. Thank you very much, Dr. Raza, for joining me here.
Thank
Kindly
you so
tell
much.
me that how the Taliban can give a terrorist a kind of a refugee status that Pakistan has given to our brothers and sisters, to Afghans, which remained there for almost 5 million and for 5 decades. How they can equate with that?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for taking me on your program. I think they are confused. They do not have any experience of diplomacy. They do not have any experience of international affairs. And last but not the least, they do not want to learn also, because it has been 4 years that this regime is in power. But the way they are conducting the interstate relations or relations with the neighbors, it is just like as if they are still a band of the terrorists or the fighters. So that's the issue. There is a dearth of understanding amongst themselves. As far as we are concerned, we gave them the status of refugees because they were Afghans and they came to Pakistan. When the Afghans from here go back to their own country, how can they give them the status of being a refugee? I think it is something to do with their understanding, and they have to be Afghans. They are to be treated as Afghans. They have to be termed as Afghans.
Dr. Raza, can kindly tell me that yesterday our Interior Minister in the Senate made an official statement that the links that we have found so far investigating the Islamabad terrorist attack as well as the Cadet College Vana attack, most of them were Afghan nationals, and then they had a direct contact with the people inside Afghanistan, the way back in 2014, that in APS, unfortunate incident where we have lost hundreds of our young children. So the same pattern was being used by the Afghans. So do you think that that is a kind of a violation that the Afghan Taliban regime has made, making a commitment at Doha that they will not allow these people or anything which happens, they'll be responsible for that?
First of all, the equation between this incident and the APS incident, I think you're very right. They tried their level best, and unfortunately, they could not succeed. Unfortunately, had they succeeded, the catastrophe would have been larger than the APS, and the casualties or the loss of life and property would have been much, much more. I think we must give credit to the Cadet College Wana, the security forces which were guarding them, that Alhamdulillah, without loss of a single cadet's life, they were able to overcome them. Number two, about their linkages to the Afghanistan, whether it is this incident in Cadet College or whether it is incident in Islamabad, you are very right that it has been very effectively, efficiently, and very, very meticulously traced back by the agencies of Pakistan, that is the CTD and the intelligence agencies together working in tandem or working in support of each other. And they could trace it back to Afghanistan. There is one person who is doing as intelligence chief of the TTP. He is there stationed in Afghanistan, and there are so many others. And most of the people who have been coming here, attacking or conducting the suicide attacks, they have been recognized as Afghans. Now, going back to Doha and that question of yours, their commitments. I think they are still very reluctant to commit. Why they are reluctant to commit, I think this is important to understand. In my opinion, there could be three, four reasons. The first reason is that they are getting ample money from Indians, and they have given them commitment, and they were there despite the fact that they claim to be the Islamic Emirate. They were there in the country which is ruled by the Hindutva regime, and they are strictly anti-Islam, and they're killing Muslims and other minorities also. Secondly, perhaps these terrorist agents, terrorist organizations, are supporting them to stay in the power. You know it that they are illegitimate as far as their staying in the power is concerned. They were to hold elections, they have not been able to hold, or they have not decided to hold those elections. And these all the terrorist organization, whether it is Daesh, ISIK, whether it is TTP, BLA, BRA, Majid Brigade, and all, they support them. The next point is that they get money also from them, and they think that they will be able to sustain themselves with help of these terrorist organizations. Last point is that this is a tool of coercion and blackmail in their hand, so that they can keep in their hand and they can keep coercing Pakistan or other neighboring countries and ask for more favors. I think they need to take care of it. And ultimately, it is Afghanistan who is going to lose in all cases, whether it is trade, whether it is the terrorist activities, whatever it is. If the border is closed, Pakistan loses minimal, Afghan people lose the maximum. I think the Afghan regime, which is not very careful, which is not very concerned about the people of Afghanistan, should be more concerned. People are different, and this regime is different. So they are not taking care of the people. They are not elected government, so they are least bothered what happens to the people of Afghanistan. I think we continue to pursue them. We continue to persuade our friends and request their help to make, I think, Taliban listen to what everyone is saying and give us assurances that their country will not be used against Pakistan.
What about the trade? Because their minister said that we are going to have a diverting our trade.
Yeah,
Rather,
yeah,
they have
yeah.
instructed
Very
their business community to divert your trade. Even the medicines, within 3 months, they should be looking for in other markets. And our
true.
foreign office spokesperson also, maybe one of the journalists might have asked a question regarding this trade. He said that our security, Pakistan's security and peace is, and the life of our people is more important than the trade. So what you'll comment on is this?
Thank you. First of all, who gains the most from the trade? I think it is the Afghan people, Afghan traders who gain the most. They bring things in the garb of Afghan transit trade. They take the things to Afghanistan and smuggle these back to Pakistan, and they earn double, triple amount of what they should have otherwise earned. Number one. Number two, their fruit, their vegetables is the only produce which they have, and next is the coal, which Pakistan buys from them. If they don't want to send it to Pakistan, they can send it to any country. But what will happen? That is very important. For example, if you compare their trade with India, their trade with any other country through land or sea, they will have to spend a lot of money, much more than what they spend now. And their perishable items, especially the fruits and vegetables, actually will not be able to reach at the longer distances, whereas Pakistan is closest, and any truck crossing Torkham or uh, Chaman reaches even the Wagah border within 24 hours and can reach the seas of Pakistan within perhaps 36 hours or 48 hours at the max. So, therefore, if they want to turn away from Pakistan and explore the other possibilities, most welcome. Pakistan is not going to lose much. What about cement? What about other things, such things which they have to import from other countries? If they import from Pakistan, it is much cheaper. If they want to import it from other countries, it is going to take much time, especially if they want to do trade with India through sea. Just compare 24 or 48 hours to 14 days. So taking things from here to the port, loading on the ship going to some port, then unloading the containers, then transporting them up country. So ultimately, they are going to lose a lot. Last point is that Pakistan never wants to close the border. Pakistan is never for it, has never been for it, unless Pakistan has been forced. Always, whenever Pakistan closed, it was they who forced us to close, because then this border is misused by their people and by the terrorists who come in the garb of trade or whatever, or visitors or sick people. However, if they assure Pakistan that they can control the people who are coming into Pakistan, they come with legal documents, legitimate visas, and all that, Pakistan doesn't have any problem to host them or to help them trade with us or with other parts of the world. Last point I want to say, they have already used Gwadar multiple times for their trade with the international community. Pakistan has been allowing them to use the CPEC routes, CPEC infrastructure, and Gwadar and Karachi port for their trade. So Pakistan doesn't have any problem. It is they who are going to suffer. They are welcome, whatever they want to decide.
So there are shorter benefits in form of maybe dollars, in form of maybe using these
They-
groups to keep their own population terrified, and naturally, if they have such people with them, they would be prolonging their this interim regime, because it was an interim meant that they will have an inclusive broad-based government, including all the other ethnic groups. But that is not happening. Do you think that in future, if they keep such kind of policies, they're going to lose their goodwill within Afghanistan, and the people of Afghanistan would definitely start raising questions against them?
Thank you so much. I think it's a very good question. First of all, how are they ruling? They are ruling on the power, with the basis on the basis of power. They are ruling with the barrel of gun. They are ruling the country with the help of all these terrorist organizations, the outfits which they are keeping inside Afghanistan. Number two, the illegitimate money which they get from India or other country, some other country who may be interfering in their country. This does not go, the money which they get, legitimate or illegitimate, it does not go to the people basically. It goes to perhaps their own coffers. So they're least bothered about the people of Afghanistan. About the people, yes, they must be disenchanted. The people are suffering, but they are under pressure, under question, and they are being ruled, as I said earlier, with the barrel of the gun. And these terrorist organizations are their support, their arms, to help them perpetuate in the power. There's no other solution. The solution is that they should call for the elections. If they're not calling for the election, the international community can force them, number one. Number two, the people. The people of Afghanistan, I think, ultimately from within Afghanistan and north and south, everywhere, people will get up and actually try to de-seed them, because they are harming the interest of the people, they are harming the interest of country. This regime is basically the culprit, not the people of Afghanistan.
They are using social media as well, like the Indians, spreading disinformation, misinformation, and then the fake accounts that are being maybe established in New Delhi or somewhere else. The Indians are behind that on the names of Afghan people. They are basically launching media war against Pakistan as well, and the propaganda that they are being launching. So, how you see that as well? vis-a-vis Pakistan-Afghanistan relations?
I think it is a, so to say, the fallout or ill fallout or unpleasant fallout of the technology spread. That is the social media. Every person has a palm device, and with one click, he sends messages without confirming, the posts without confirming here and there. Deep fake is the name of the game. Disinformation, misinformation, twisting the facts is the name of the game, and part of the psychological warfare, and also part of the propaganda to pollute the minds of the people, of own people, youth, and all that. Now, in case of Pakistan, or in case of those countries which have the access to technology, you can decipher and deconstruct the deepfake, maybe the AI generated content and all that. But people in Afghanistan who does not have access to this, they must be affected much more than the people here. It is one menace which we have to fight, and there are two ways. One is the technological, and one second is the physical way. The technological way is that if you have the ability to jam them, to stop them, to delete their accounts and all that, to hack their accounts, that can be done. As far as physically is concerned, physically I mean that we need very, very smart girls and boys and youth and national level,
To
provincial
counter
level,
their propaganda.
to counter them, to counter them.
What about the Indians' exercises, tri-services exercises in the deep sea and closer to Pakistani border, Gujarat and Rajasthan and these desert areas?
Ji, thank you so much. I think this is very important question. We'll have to go back to Operation Markai Haq and Bunyan al-Marsus. It is because of the embarrassment and the defeat which was suffered by Indians at the hands of Pakistan armed forces and people of Pakistan, even in the field of technology and social media, and even in the traditional media, they were beaten very, very badly. Uh, there was a great uproar in India. What has happened? Their own senior people have been talking of grounding the Air Force. They grounded their Air Force for 2 days. Now, this all indicated that there is a problem in the interoperability of their systems. They had the best of the best equipment from best of the best producers of the world, like United States, yeah, Russia, Israel, France, UK, and so on. But interoperability was the problem. Similarly, the coordination between the three services was the problem. So they want to actually make up for that loss, and they want to uh, kind of perfect or practice their systems, and try that their interoperability, or their operation as a joint force, tri-services force, succeed. So it is internal messaging and also the external messaging. Internally, it is one thing, that embarrassment, and secondly, actual defeat, which was there because of the lack of integration between the three services.
Do you think there is any a kind of a indirect threat to Pakistan or direct threat to Pakistan?
Of course, of course, of course, it is there. Whenever a country undertakes such huge exercise, and especially in case of India, they have selected the area where they have the ground operations. They are going to operate in sea also. They may be practicing the amphibious operations, so on and so forth. So, number one, as I said earlier, it is their own perfection of the drills and procedures and connectivity with each other of various systems, whether it is aerial systems, ground or sea systems, number one. Number two, of course, it is a messaging for Pakistan. They want to indicate to Pakistan that perhaps they are very ready for any offensive against Pakistan. When it comes to messaging, then there is a messaging in for inside people, for their own country, that they want to tell their own people that we are very good, and we can actually uh, make use of all the three forces together and do very well, perhaps in the future. For Pakistan, naturally, the messaging is that we have to be prepared and no worries. All the countries carry out these exercises. We also carry out these exercises. It's a routine matter. We should not be actually very worried from these exercises.
The Indian Foreign Minister met with the American Secretary of State, and earlier we have seen that the Indian Defense Minister signed, I don't know what kind of a document that was for, but 10 years cooperation, defense cooperation between America and the Indians. Uh, that may be good for them since Trump has been demonizing them everywhere, wherever he went. He was disgracing Modi and the Indians. So, how you see that? Do you think that the Americans have changed their, mind regarding India, or whatever statements the President Trump was issuing, that was only to blackmail them and bring them, closer to some kind of a trade deal? What was that?
Thank you. Most important thing is that United States has invested a lot in India for past about 15, 20 years, or maybe more than 20 years. And they have been declared officially as the strategic partner of India. Number one. Number two, they have been declared as the net security provider. Number three, they are being propped up, or they were being prepared as a bulwark of US foreign policy and US military efforts against China. And they were to counter the Chinese rise, which United States thinks that China is rising steadily, but perhaps China wants to overtake United States or revise the present world order and become a superpower. So one is this. Number two, the President Trump's anger on India could be because of two things. Number one, that they were buying lots of oil from Russia, and President Trump thought that money is going to Russia and it is funding the war in Ukraine. And second aspect could be that preferably United States would like itself to export oil to other countries and Europe, which India is doing. India is getting oil from Russia, refining it and selling it to Europe also. So it is the economic issue also the defense issue, indirect issue. Then the second reason I think would be Mr. Moody's kind of in direct denial of the role President Trump played in Pakistan-India war and helped them in getting the ceasefire, because it was them who went to the President of the United States or the Oval Office or the Pentagon or wherever they went to get the ceasefire done. So these could be the two reasons. Now, what is the future? I do not think that there is going to be a severe breakup between India and United States. It is kind of coercion, as you said. It is kind of effort or pressure which President Trump is exerting on India to wean him away from Russia and the oil which he is buying from Russia. When they stop buying oil from Russia, I think they are going to have good relations again. Second comes the 10 years defense agreement, cooperation agreement and all that. It is not the defense agreement in classic sense that both the forces, the way Pakistan has had with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It is for the defense cooperation, which is already there. India has already signed, or America and India have already signed 4 to 5 very, very important agreements with each other for the logistics, for the intelligence sharing, for cooperation in the military technology, and also uh, affording or selling the American weapons to India. This 10 years pact or 10-year agreement is basically, if I'm not wrong, for purchase of the defense equipment. And America needs money. President Trump needs money, and he is looking here and there to conclude contracts, whether it is in the defense sector or any other sector, to bring more money, more businesses, more jobs to United States of America. But in no way it is a pact against Pakistan or any country to physically fight shoulder to shoulder with each other.
Ambassador Dr. Raza Muhammad, defense and international affairs expert. In fact, you have, brought together the defense and the diplomacy together, and the research as well. So thank you very much, sir, for your
Thank
time, precious time, and
you.
your opinion, which will go to the people, and they will enlighten them on both the, Afghanistan and India issue and relations with both the countries of Pakistan. Thank you very much, sir, for your time.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Allah bless you. Allah bless Pakistan. Thank you.